Hello, I'm Essay, your AI essayist. Please note that all content, audio and video in this presentation are AI generated. As AI can sometimes produce inaccuracies, I encourage you to verify any factual information presented. With that in mind, let's begin.
Stephen Frears, a name now synonymous with cinematic versatility and astute social commentary, embarked on his directorial journey far from the glitz of Hollywood. His initial forays into the world of moving images occurred within the distinctly different landscape of British theatre and television, a crucible that forged his signature style and thematic preoccupations. This early period, often eclipsed by his later, more internationally recognized work, provides a crucial foundation for understanding the director's enduring artistic vision. Frears' path to directing was somewhat circuitous. Following his education at Gresham's School and later Cambridge, where he studied law, his interest gradually shifted toward the dramatic arts. He found himself drawn to the immediacy and collaborative nature of theater, a stark contrast to the more solitary pursuit of legal studies. This early engagement with the stage provided him with invaluable experience in directing actors and shaping narratives within a defined space, skills that would prove essential in his subsequent transition to screen-based media. The move from stage to screen began with a pivotal role at Grand Arter Television. Here, Frears found himself immersed in a vibrant and innovative environment, one that was actively experimenting with new forms of dramatic storytelling. Television in Britain during this era was undergoing a period of significant transformation, moving beyond simple entertainment toward more socially conscious and politically engaged narratives. This climate proved fertile ground for a young director eager to explore complex themes and challenge conventional representations of British society. One key aspect of Frears' early television work was his frequent collaboration with talented playwrights. He directed adaptations of plays and original scripts, many of which focused on the lives and experiences of working-class individuals and communities. This focus on social realism became a defining characteristic of his early style, reflecting a commitment to portraying the realities of everyday life with honesty and authenticity. These collaborations allowed Frears to hone his skills in translating dramatic texts to the screen, while also developing a sensitivity to the nuances of character and dialogue. A particularly notable example from this period is A Day Out, a 1972 television drama. This film, penned by Alan Bennett, offers a poignant and understated portrayal of a group of working-class men on a cycling trip. Frears' direction captured the subtle humor and quiet desperation of their lives, highlighting the social and economic constraints that shaped their experiences. The film's naturalistic dialogue and unadorned visuals contributed to its sense of authenticity, creating a powerful and affecting portrait of ordinary people grappling with the challenges of their time. Another significant work from Frears' early television career is Bloody Kids, a 1979 drama that tackled the issue of youth unemployment and social unrest. This film, written by Stephen Poliakoff, explored the lives of disaffected teenagers in a bleak urban environment. Frears' direction was unflinching in its portrayal of their struggles, capturing the violence and despair that permeated their lives. Bloody Kids generated considerable controversy upon its release due to its graphic depiction of social problems, yet it also established Frears as a director willing to confront difficult and uncomfortable truths. The influence of other prominent British directors, such as Ken Loach and Alan Clarke, is palpable in Frears' early work. Loach, known for his uncompromising social realism and commitment to portraying the lives of marginalized communities, served as a significant inspiration. Frears adopted Loach's approach to location shooting, filming on real streets and in actual homes to enhance the sense of authenticity. He similarly embraced Loach's preference for naturalistic dialogue, encouraging actors to improvise and bring their own experiences to their roles. Clarke, renowned for his stark and unflinching portrayals of violence and social decay, also exerted a considerable influence. Frears adopted Clarke's use of long takes and handheld cameras to create a sense of immediacy and visceral realism, immersing the viewer in the world of the characters. Specifically, one can see Loach's influence in Frears' commitment to portraying the economic realities of working-class life. Loach's Cathy Come Home, a 1966 television drama, had a profound impact on British society, raising awareness of homelessness and poverty. Frears similarly sought to expose the social injustices and inequalities that plagued British society in his own work. Clarke's impact can be observed in Frears' willingness to confront difficult and uncomfortable subjects such as youth violence and police brutality. Clarke's Come, a 1979 film depicting the brutal realities of life in Borstal, served as a model for Frears' own unflinching portrayals of social problems. Frears' early adoption of location shooting, a technique pioneered by Loach, is evident in A Day Out. The film's scenes of the men cycling through the countryside were filmed on location, capturing the beauty and tranquility of the British landscape. This contrasted sharply with the characters' drab and limited lives, highlighting the social and economic disparities that existed within British society. The impact of Clarke's long takes and handheld camera work can be seen in Bloody Kids. The film's chaotic and violent scenes were filmed using handheld cameras, creating a sense of immediacy and disorientation. This technique immersed the viewer in the world of the characters, making their struggles feel all the more real and visceral. Despite his early successes in television, Frears faced considerable challenges in establishing himself as a director in the British film industry. The industry at that time was relatively small and insular, with limited opportunities for new directors to break through. Funding for independent films was scarce, and commercial pressures often favored more mainstream and conventional productions. This meant that Frears had to be resourceful and persistent in pursuing his artistic vision, often working on low-budget productions and collaborating with like-minded individuals. He persevered, driven by a desire to tell stories that reflected the realities of British society and challenged conventional cinematic norms. He sought opportunities to express his unique vision, even within the constraints of the existing industry. The transition from television to feature films presented a new set of creative and logistical hurdles for Frears. Securing funding, assembling a crew, and navigating the complexities of theatrical distribution required a different skill set than his work at the BBC and ITV. Undeterred, he embarked on his feature film journey with Gumshoe, released in 1971. This neo-noir comedy introduced audiences to Frears' distinctive ability to subvert genre conventions and imbue his characters with a unique blend of cynicism and charm. Gumshoe centers on Eddie Ginley, portrayed by Albert Finney, a bingo caller in Liverpool who dreams of becoming a private detective in the mold of Humphrey Bogart. Jimmy places an advertisement in a local newspaper offering his services as a private eye, and, to his surprise, he receives a genuine case involving murder, intrigue, and international arms dealing. Frears deliberately employs a playful, self-aware approach to the film noir genre, contrasting the gritty realism of Liverpool with the stylized tropes of classic detective stories. The film's humor arises from the incongruity between Jimmy's romanticized vision of detective work and the mundane realities of his life. Specific filmmaking techniques contribute significantly to the film's distinctive tone. Frears utilizes unconventional camera angles and, during editing, to create a sense of unease and disorientation, mirroring Jimmy's own confusion as he navigates the unfamiliar world of crime. The film's soundtrack, featuring a mix of jazz and contemporary pop music, further enhances the atmosphere of playful cynicism. For example, the use of a jaunty theme tune during moments of intense suspense creates a deliberate sense of irony, undercutting the seriousness of the situation. The influence of directors such as Jean-Luc Godard, with his playful approach to genre and narrative, is evident in Frears' experimental filmmaking style. The critical reception to Gumshoe was generally positive, with many critics praising Frears' inventive direction and his charismatic performance. The film earned nominations for Best British Film and Best Screenplay at the BAFTA Awards, signaling Frears' arrival as a significant new voice in British cinema. Though not a massive commercial success, Gumshoe established Frears' reputation as a director capable of blending genres and creating memorable characters. It provided him with a valuable platform to showcase his unique vision and secure future opportunities. Despite the promising start with Gumshoe, Frears faced further challenges in securing funding for his subsequent projects. He continued to work in television throughout the 1970s, directing episodes of popular series such as Play for Today and Armchair Theater. This allowed him to hone his craft and experiment with different styles and genres, while also providing a steady source of income. He remained committed to developing his own feature film projects, even as he navigated the constraints of the British film industry. It was not until 1984, 13 years after Gumshoe, that Frears released his second feature film, The Hit. This crime thriller marked a significant departure from the comedic tone of his debut, showcasing his versatility as a director. The Hit tells the story of Willie Parker, a former gangster who turns supergrass and betrays his associates to the police. 10 years later, Parker is living in Spain under witness protection when he is kidnapped by two hitmen, Braddock and Myron, who are tasked with bringing him back to London to face retribution. The film's narrative unfolds as a road movie, with Braddock, Myron, and Parker traveling across Spain in a dilapidated car. As they journey, Braddock begins to question his mission and develops a grudging respect for Parker, while Myron remains steadfast in his commitment to violence. Frears masterfully builds suspense throughout the film, creating a palpable sense of dread as the characters approach their inevitable destination. The film's violence is both brutal and understated, reflecting the cold, calculating nature of the criminal underworld. Frears employs a range of filmmaking techniques to create the film's tense and atmospheric mood. The use of stark, naturalistic lighting enhances the sense of realism, while camera angles and editing create a feeling of claustrophobia and unease. The film's soundtrack, featuring a haunting score by Parker Deluja, further contributes to the overall sense of dread. The influence of directors such as Sam Peckinpah, with his unflinching portrayal of violence and moral ambiguity, can be seen in Frears' approach to the crime genre. The performances in The Hit are uniformly excellent, with John Hurt as Braddock, Tim Roth as Myron, and Terrence Stamp as Willie Parker delivering nuanced and compelling portrayals of their respective characters. The dynamic between the three actors is particularly effective as they navigate the complex moral landscape of the film. The film garnered critical acclaim upon its release, with many critics praising Frears' direction, the performances, and the film's taut and suspenseful screenplay. It won the Golden Stamp Award at the 1984 Venice Film Festival, further solidifying Frears' international reputation. The Hit demonstrated Frears' ability to work within a different genre and still maintain his distinctive, artistic vision. It showcased his talent for creating complex and morally ambiguous characters, and his mastery of suspenseful storytelling. The film's success opened doors for Frears to work on larger budget productions and collaborate with established actors, paving the way for his subsequent breakthrough into mainstream cinema. The film also directly influenced Quentin Tarantino, who has cited it as an inspiration for his own crime films, particularly in its use of dialogue and its exploration of the moral complexities of violence. Tarantino's Reservoir Dogs, for example, echoes The Hit in its focus on a group of criminals with conflicting loyalties and its use of extended dialogue scenes to explore their motivations. The acclaim garnered by The Hit amplified Frears' profile, affording him greater latitude in project selection and solidifying his position within the burgeoning landscape of British cinema. This newfound influence catalyzed a period of intense creative exploration, during which he turned his lens towards the socio-political complexities of mid-1980s Britain, a period defined by Thatcherism's ascendance. This era witnessed widening economic disparities, social unrest, and a re-evaluation of national identity, themes that Frears unflinchingly confronted in films such as My Beautiful Laundrette 1985 and Prick Up Your Ears 1987. My Beautiful Laundrette serves as a potent cinematic commentary on Thatcherite Britain, dissecting its impact on marginalized communities, particularly immigrant populations. The film centers on Omar, a young British Pakistani man, played by Gordon Warnick, who is given the opportunity to manage a dilapidated laundrette by his uncle, Nasser, portrayed by C. Jaffrey. Omar's ambition intersects with Johnny, a former school friend played by Daniel Day-Lewis, a white punk rocker, and their complex relationship becomes the driving force of the narrative. The laundrette itself transforms into a vibrant, almost surreal space, a symbol of both entrepreneurial aspiration and the uneasy coexistence of different cultures within a rapidly changing urban environment. Themes of race, class, and sexuality intertwine throughout the film, reflecting the multifaceted challenges faced by individuals navigating the socio-economic realities of Thatcher's Britain. The film directly addresses the racial tensions prevalent at the time, showcasing the prejudice and discrimination experienced by Pakistani immigrants. The economic policies of the Thatcher government, which emphasized privatization and deregulation, exacerbated existing inequalities, creating a climate of competition and resentment. My Beautiful Laundrette captures the sense of economic precarity, depicting the struggles of individuals striving for upward mobility in a society where opportunities were often limited by factors such as race and class. The film's exploration of sexuality is equally groundbreaking. The relationship between Omar and Johnny, a tender yet fraught romance between two men from vastly different backgrounds, challenges conventional notions of masculinity and desire. Their relationship unfolds against the backdrop of social conservatism and homophobia, highlighting the risks and vulnerabilities associated with same-sex relationships during this period. Hanif Qureishi's screenplay, sharp and insightful, avoids easy answers or simplistic portrayals, instead presenting a nuanced and complex exploration of human relationships in a society grappling with shifting social norms. Frears' filmmaking style in My Beautiful Laundrette is deeply rooted in British social realism, a cinematic tradition that emphasizes authenticity, naturalism, and a commitment to portraying the lives of ordinary people. He employs a documentary-like approach, capturing the gritty realities of urban life with a keen eye for detail. The film's use of location shooting, its unglamorous portrayal of working-class neighborhoods, and its focus on the everyday struggles of its characters all contribute to its sense of realism. This approach aligns with a broader new wave of British cinema, which emerged in the late 1950s and early 1960s, characterized by its social consciousness, its rejection of studio artifice, and its commitment to telling stories about the lives of ordinary Britons. Filmmakers such as Tony Richardson and Carol Rice, pioneers of the British New Wave, directly influenced Frears' approach to filmmaking, particularly in their emphasis on social commentary and their use of location shooting. Qureshi, the screenwriter, was demonstrably influenced by the works of writers like E.M. Forster, particularly Forster's exploration of class and sexuality in Edwardian England and his ability to create complex and nuanced characters. Prick Up Your Ears, released in 1987, shifts the focus to the life and tragic death of playwright Joe Arton, portrayed by Gary Oldman. The film, based on Joan Marr's biography, delves into Arton's artistic genius, his turbulent relationship with his lover and mentor Kenneth Halliwell, played by Alfred Molina, and the societal constraints that shape their lives. Prick Up Your Ears continues Frears' exploration of themes of sexuality and social transgression, but it does so through the lens of biography, examining the life of a prominent artist who challenged conventional norms and pushed the boundaries of creative expression. The film explores the complex dynamics between Arton and Halliwell, depicting their intense intellectual connection, their creative collaboration, and their ultimately destructive relationship. Arton's meteoric rise to fame as a playwright brought him critical acclaim and social recognition, while Halliwell, who had initially nurtured Arton's talent, struggled with feelings of jealousy and resentment. Their relationship, marked by both love and dependency, became increasingly strained as Arton's success overshadowed Halliwell's own artistic aspirations. Prick Up Your Ears also serves as a commentary on the social and political climate of Britain during the 1960s, a period of significant cultural change and sexual liberation. Arton's plays, characterized by their dark humor, their subversive wit, and their unflinching portrayal of sexuality, challenged the prevailing social mores and sparked controversy. The film captures the spirit of rebellion and experimentation that defined the era, showcasing the ways in which artists like Arton used their work to challenge authority and push the boundaries of what was considered acceptable. Frears' direction in Prick Up Your Ears is characterized by its sensitivity and its willingness to explore the darker aspects of human relationships. He avoids sensationalizing Arton's story, instead presenting a nuanced and empathetic portrayal of his life and his tragic demise. The film's performances are particularly strong, with Oldman delivering a captivating portrayal of Arton's charisma and vulnerability, and Molina capturing Halliwell's complex mix of intelligence, insecurity, and rage. Alan Bennett, who wrote the screenplay, brought to the project his own experience as a playwright and his deep understanding of British social and cultural history. Bennett's work, known for its wit, its intelligence, and its sharp social commentary, provided the perfect foundation for Frears' exploration of Arton's life and legacy. Bennett was influenced by playwrights such as Harold Pinter and Alan Ayckbourn, known for their innovative use of language and their exploration of social anxieties. The film demonstrably influenced later biopics that explored the lives of controversial artists, such as Basquiat in 1996, which examined the life of the American painter Jean Michel Basquiat. Both My Beautiful Laundrette and Prick Up Your Ears exemplify Frears' commitment to exploring complex social and political themes through the medium of film. They demonstrate his ability to create compelling narratives that are both entertaining and thought-provoking, and they showcase his talent for working with actors to deliver powerful and memorable performances. These films solidified Frears' reputation as a leading voice in British cinema, and they paved the way for his subsequent transition to Hollywood, where he would continue to explore themes of social injustice and human relationships on a larger scale. The critical and commercial success of My Beautiful Laundrette and Prick Up Your Ears established Frears as a significant figure in British cinema, achievements that presented opportunities for him to expand his creative horizons within the Hollywood studio system. This transition marked a new phase in his career, one where he grappled with the challenges and possibilities of working on a larger scale while retaining his distinctive artistic vision. His initial foray into Hollywood resulted in Dangerous Liaisons in 1988, an adaptation of Christopher Hampton's play, itself based on Pierre Chodelot's de Laclose's novel Les Liaisons Dangereuses. The source material, a complex exploration of manipulation and seduction among the French aristocracy, provided fertile ground for Frears' character-driven approach. He embraced the opportunity to work with a stellar cast, including Glenn Close, John Malkovich, and Michelle Pfeiffer, each of whom brought depth and nuance to their roles. Close's portrayal of the Marquise de Merteuil, a calculating and vengeful woman, earned her widespread acclaim and an Academy Award nomination. Malkovich's depiction of the Vicomte de Valmont, a charming but ultimately destructive libertine, showcased his ability to convey both charisma and menace. Dangerous Liaisons presented Frears with the challenge of adapting his directorial style to the demands of a Hollywood production. He navigated this by focusing on the intricate relationships between the characters and the psychological complexities that drove their actions. The film's visual style, while more lavish than his earlier British work, remained grounded in a sense of realism, avoiding the excesses that sometimes characterized Hollywood period dramas. He maintained a focus on the performances, allowing the actors to fully inhabit their roles and bring the story to life. The film's success demonstrated his ability to translate his artistic vision to a larger canvas, appealing to a wider audience without sacrificing his commitment to character and social commentary. The film's success can be attributed, in part, to the enduring appeal of the source material, which had been adapted for the stage and screen on numerous occasions. However, Frears' adaptation distinguished itself through its nuanced performances, its sharp dialogue, and its unflinching portrayal of the moral corruption at the heart of the French aristocracy. The film resonated with audiences who were drawn to its themes of power, seduction, and betrayal, and it solidified Frears' reputation as a director who could handle complex and challenging subject matter with skill and sensitivity. Dangerous Liaisons was influenced by several sources, most notably the original novel by Loach and Hampton's stage adaptation. However, Frears also drew inspiration from classic Hollywood cinema, particularly the work of directors such as Ernst Lubitsch and Billy Wilder, known for their sophisticated comedies of manners and their sharp wit. He also acknowledged the influence of European art films, particularly those of Ingmar Bergman and Louis Buñuel, which explore themes of psychological complexity and social alienation. The success of Dangerous Liaisons had a significant impact on Frears' career, opening doors to new opportunities and allowing him to work on larger and more ambitious projects. It also influenced other filmmakers, demonstrating that it was possible to make commercially successful films that were also intellectually stimulating and artistically daring. For example, director Neil Jordan's film The Crying Game in 1992, which explored themes of identity, sexuality, and political violence, shared a similar willingness to challenge audience expectations and push the boundaries of mainstream cinema. Following the triumph of Dangerous Liaisons, Frears directed The Grifters in 1990, a neo-noir crime drama based on a novel by Jim Thompson. This film represented a departure from the period setting of Dangerous Liaisons, but it retained Frears' focus on character and social commentary. The Grifters explored the lives of three con artists, played by Angelica Huston, John Cusack, and Annette Bening, each of whom was driven by greed, ambition, and a desire to escape their circumstances. The Grifters presented Frears with a different set of challenges than Dangerous Liaisons. The film's contemporary setting and its gritty subject matter required a different visual style and a different approach to performance. Frears embraced these challenges, creating a film that was both stylish and suspenseful, with a strong sense of atmosphere and a keen eye for detail. He elicited outstanding performances from his cast, particularly Huston, who received an Academy Award nomination for her portrayal of Lily Dillon, a hardened and manipulative con artist. The film's success can be attributed, in part, to its compelling story, its memorable characters, and its stylish direction. However, it also resonated with audiences who were drawn to its themes of deception, betrayal, and the dark underbelly of American society. The Grifters demonstrated Frears' versatility as a director, his ability to work in different genres and with different types of actors, while still maintaining his distinctive artistic vision. The Grifters drew inspiration from classic film noir, particularly the work of directors such as John Huston and Billy Wilder, known for their cynical and morally ambiguous characters. Frears also acknowledged the influence of European crime films, particularly those of Jean-Pierre Melville and Alain Delon, which emphasized atmosphere and psychological tension. The film's influence can be seen in later neo-noir films, such as Pulp Fiction in 1994, directed by Quentin Tarantino, which shared a similar willingness to experiment with narrative structure and to explore the lives of criminals and outsiders. The Grifters also influenced other filmmakers who were drawn to the work of Jim Thompson, such as Michael Winterbottom, who directed an adaptation of Thompson's novel The Killer Inside in 2010. Working within the Hollywood studio system presented Frears with a unique set of challenges. He encountered greater levels of bureaucracy and interference than he had experienced in British cinema, and he had to navigate the competing interests of producers, studio executives, and marketing departments. He addressed these difficulties by remaining true to his artistic vision, by carefully selecting his projects, and by collaborating with actors and crew members who shared his commitment to quality. He also benefited from the freedom to work with larger budgets and to access a wider range of resources, which allowed him to realize his creative ambitions on a grander scale. The freedom to work with studio money allowed Frears to explore more ambitious projects and to work with some of the most talented actors and crew members in the industry. It also gave him the opportunity to reach a wider audience and to make films that had a significant cultural impact. However, he remained aware of the potential pitfalls of working within the Hollywood system, and he was careful to maintain his independence and his artistic integrity. Frears' time in Hollywood allowed him to further refine his directorial style, to hone his skills as a storyteller, and to solidify his reputation as a leading figure in contemporary cinema. The financial backing provided by the studio system enabled him to explore more complex narratives and to work with a higher level of technical expertise, ultimately enhancing the quality and impact of his films. His ability to navigate the Hollywood landscape while staying true to his artistic vision is a testament to his talent and his determination, qualities that would continue to define his career in the years to come. Following his successes in Hollywood, Stephen Frears embarked on a period of sustained creative output, navigating a diverse range of genres and themes while retaining a distinctive directorial signature. This era saw the release of films such as The Snapper in 1993, High Fidelity in 2000, The Queen in 2006, and Florence Foster Jenkins in 2016, each demonstrating Frears' ability to adapt to different narrative structures and cultural contexts without sacrificing his artistic vision. The Snapper, adapted from Roddy Doyle's novel, returned Frears to the intimate setting of working-class Ireland, a space previously explored in the van. The film's strength lies in its realistic portrayal of family dynamics and community reactions to an unexpected pregnancy. Frears' direction captured the humor and warmth of Doyle's writing, creating a film that resonated with audiences due to its authenticity and relatable characters. The film's success can be attributed to Frears' ability to elicit natural performances from his cast and to his keen eye for detail in depicting everyday life. The raw social realism of British cinema, exemplified in the works of Ken Loach, directly impacted Frears' approach to portraying working-class life without romanticization. This influence is evident in the film's unvarnished depiction of family struggles and the challenges faced by its characters. The impact of The Snapper is evident in subsequent Irish films that explore similar themes of family, community, and social change, such as Ian and Paul, directed by Lenny Branson, which adopted a similar observational style. Moving across the Atlantic, Frears directed High Fidelity, a film based on Nick Hornby's novel about a record store owner grappling with relationships and personal growth growth. This project showcased Frears' versatility in adapting to a different cultural landscape and comedic style. The film's success hinged on its witty dialogue, engaging performances, and relatable themes of love, loss, and self-discovery. Frears' direction allowed the film to maintain a lighthearted tone while exploring deeper emotional truths, a balance that resonated with audiences and critics alike. The influence of Woody Allen's comedic style, particularly his use of self-deprecating humor and introspective narration, is apparent in High Fidelity. This influence is reflected in the film's witty dialogue and its protagonist's tendency to analyze his own life through pop culture references. High Fidelity influenced subsequent films and television shows that explore similar themes of male introspection and relationship dynamics, such as the television series You're the Worst, which adopted a similar blend of humor and emotional honesty. In The Queen, Frears directed Helen Mirren in her Academy Award-winning performance as Queen Elizabeth II, navigating the aftermath of Princess Diana's death. This project demonstrated Frears' ability to handle complex historical events and to portray real-life figures with sensitivity and nuance. The film's strength lies in its balanced portrayal of the Queen's personal struggles and her public responsibilities, offering a glimpse into the inner workings of the British monarchy. Frears' direction allowed Mirren to deliver a tour-de-force performance, capturing the Queen's stoicism, vulnerability, and unwavering sense of duty. The influence of documentary filmmaking, particularly in its use of archival footage and its focus on real-life events, is evident in The Queen. This influence is reflected in the film's realistic portrayal of historical events and its attention to detail in recreating the atmosphere of the time. The Queen influenced subsequent historical dramas that explore similar themes of leadership, responsibility, and the intersection of personal and public life, such as The King's Speech, directed by Tom Hooper, which adopted a similar approach to portraying historical figures with depth and complexity. Florence Foster Jenkins presented Frears with the challenge of directing a biographical comedy drama about a famously inept opera singer. The film's success hinged on its ability to balance humor with pathos, creating a portrait of a woman who pursued her dreams despite her lack of talent. Frears' direction allowed Meryl Streep to deliver a memorable performance, capturing Jenkins' eccentric personality and her unwavering belief in her own abilities. The film's charm lies in its celebration of artistic passion and its exploration of the power of delusion. The influence of classic Hollywood comedies, particularly those of Preston Sturges and Frank Capra, is apparent in Florence Foster Jenkins. This influence is reflected in the film's witty dialogue, its farcical situations, and its optimistic tone. Florence Foster Jenkins influenced subsequent biographical comedies that explore similar themes of artistic ambition, personal eccentricity, and the pursuit of dreams, such as Paddington 2, directed by Paul King, which adopted a similar blend of humor and heartwarming sentimentality. Throughout his later career, Frears maintained a distinctive directorial style characterized by his focus on character development, his use of naturalistic dialogue, and his ability to elicit strong performances from his actors. His films often explore themes of social class, personal identity, and the complexities of human relationships, reflecting his commitment to portraying the world with honesty and insight. The influence of British realism, with its emphasis on social commentary and its depiction of everyday life, is a recurring theme in Frears' work. This influence is evident in his film's unvarnished portrayal of working-class life and his exploration of social issues such as poverty, unemployment, and discrimination. Frears' overall contribution to British and American cinema lies in his ability to blend social realism with genre conventions to create compelling and thought-provoking cinema. His films often challenge conventions and explore complex human relationships, offering audiences a glimpse into the lives of ordinary people facing extraordinary circumstances. The impact of his work is evident in the numerous awards and accolades he has received, as well as in the influence he has had on subsequent generations of filmmakers. Directors such as Edgar Wright, known for his dynamic visual style and genre-bending narratives, cite Frears' ability to seamlessly blend comedy and drama as a key influence on their own work. Frears' enduring legacy rests on his ability to consistently deliver films that are both entertaining and intellectually stimulating. His work continues to resonate with audiences due to its honesty, its humor, and its unwavering commitment to exploring the human condition. The modern relevance of Frears' work lies in its timeless themes and its enduring appeal to audiences of all ages and backgrounds. His films offer a valuable perspective on the complexities of modern life and the challenges we face in navigating a rapidly changing world. In conclusion, Stephen Frears stands as a significant figure in film history, a director whose artistic vision has consistently challenged conventions and explored complex human relationships. His ability to blend social realism with genre conventions, coupled with his talent for eliciting strong performances from his actors, has resulted in a body of work that is both compelling and thought-provoking. Frears' films offer valuable commentary on the human condition, reflecting his enduring commitment to portraying the world with honesty, humor, and insight. His influence on filmmaking techniques, character development, and social commentary ensures his place as a leading figure in contemporary cinema.
We really appreciate you tuning into this AI-powered presentation. Our goal is to push the boundaries of AI in content creation, and your input is invaluable. If there's a particular subject you'd like to see us tackle next, or if you have suggestions on how we could fine-tune our AI's creative prompts, please don't hesitate to leave your ideas in the comments section. We're excited to bring you more unique content very soon.